Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to Backpack Trader Training Room for Tuesday, July 29th, 2025. Please note the required risk disclosure. This room is for educational and information purposes only. It's not financial advice. Trade your charts, not mine. Trading of this type carries substantial risks and should only be attempted with funds you can afford to do without. All right. This is our only session today. Crude in its first trade of the morning just touched the entry. If you're trying to get into that, didn't get filled, move your entry down a tick. I did not get filled at that when it came down, so I moved my entry down. So get in sync long on the micro Russell. And target 2 is definitely big enough to move our target down to 2 rather than going to 3. Market open in less than 3 minutes. Nothing on the pound Aussie this morning. Unleaded, picking up a long trade, 902.56. That goes to target 2 for 40 ticks. Target 1 was 25 ticks. And then we trail out at 1263 from the entry at 1256. So 7 ticks on the trailer, 47 ticks. Not a huge trade, but one and done. And we move on. So I'll bring up the next micro NQ. Currently a get in sync short there. We don't start that trade plan until 4 minutes after market open. YM with a get in sync short. Yep, target 2 is our objective there because target 1 is small. Now we have a new long setup on the micro NQ. A little bit of a wick on that. Not enough to move the target down to target 1. $25 seconds. 20 seconds to go to market open. $8:30 Central Exchange, which is exchange time for the micro Russell, the YM, and the micro NQ, as well as soybeans. Soybeans with a get in sync short. And we are in our trade session. Micro Russell triggers in. Micro Russell was sitting up at session high. Stops out. Short trade was too fast to catch right there, but let's get in sync at this point. So we took a full stop. Money management on the micro Russell. Micro NQ goes too far. Stop and reverse at 43 on crude. Crude does stop and reverse. Actually, crude doesn't stop and reverse yet. Still in the short. Actually, that'll depend on whether or not you got filled on the short or not. If you weren't filled, you're in at 41. All right, the short on the micro NQ was a full stop, but we're not to our start time yet there. We stop, so we could take a break even on the short trade on the micro Russell. And we'll take this as a get in sync on the long side of the micro Russell. Goes up to 83.2 for our money management level. 14 tick minimum there. Soybeans picks up a long trade right at our start time. And fairly long bar there. Long time period, that is. This is a very healthy trade size. Getting very close to money management. Target 1. YM with a long setup. That just triggered in. That one's big enough to use as is. Our gold is target 1 there. All right. Is this long? Nope, that long is too early, but it is a get in sync, and we are at our start time. So that just did get in sync. Long on the micro Russell or micro NQ. And we're short on the micro Russell. I would say the long was avoided on the micro Russell, because that was too quick to have initially gotten in, and I didn't see it come back to the entry. One more tick to get our 14 tick minimums, and that comes down to 76.5. Money management still in the short there. Still in the short on crude. Long on the micro NQ. It's money management. Stop comes to break even, 628 3/4. YM gets target. That's going to be a one and done. 27 ticks on the target. Trailing stop at 45,004 and stopping out there. So the YM is done. Unleaded is done. Crude is in a short, in its first trade of the morning in a short. And we take a full stop out on the short, just touching the stop. So there you go. Break even, no trade, full stop. So break even and a loss. And we did get, oh, that's not fun. We got target one on the nose, and then came back and stopped out for one tick on the remaining positions. So we pick up 3 additional ticks and 8 ticks on the target. So 11 ticks on the day, 2 3/4 points, 137.50. One and done, but not a big day, so we'll come back again tomorrow. YM is done. Soybeans is done. Micro NQ is in trade number 1. Micro Russell is flat. Pound Aussie is flat. No trades there this morning. Still in the short. Stop and reverse it will remain valid until it either stops out or hits the entry. right. 4 charts remaining. 3 are complete. 2 flat, 2 with active trades. Micro NQ long and crude is short with a potential stop and reverse to long. And micro NQ coming back toward the stop. 628 3/4. YM pulled down almost to the session low. Yeah, kind of going back and forth across the session open. And the micro NQ stops out for a break even. Trade number 1 is a break even there. There is a new short on crude. We're still in the short there. That triggered in at 28, so that will cancel the stop and reverse. The stop and reverse is no longer valid. Short on the micro NQ. Setup. Short on the micro NQ. Still short on crude. Calculator is tracking the second short, and we're actually still in the first one. We have that one filtered trade on the pound Aussie. That was crossover filter, 200 or 50 crossing up over the 200. So it's not allowing us to go short there, eight bars. And that was just before our start time anyway. That magenta bar indicates the 8th bar. But now 50 is crossed under the 200. So it's going to filter out long trades. Not much going on right now. Still short on the crude and short on the micro NQ. Flat on the micro Russell and flat on the pound Aussie. All right, micro NQ testing the 50. Micro Russell with a short. Actually, we've avoided that long trade as well, it would appear. Down one there. 71.5. Money management on micro NQ. And the stop and reverse adjustment did its job, kept us in the short. That's where we are at the moment and on crude. And it's target 2 and target 3 on the micro NQ. Money management on the micro Russell. So we're going for target 4 now on the micro NQ. And the trailer at 595 3/4. Target 4 on micro NQ. Trailer at 578.5. Micro Russell is still trying to get down to target 3 for its first win of the morning. Break even and a loss so far there. Pound Aussie still with nothing. Micro NQ stops out 578.5, and the micro Russell stops out for a break even. So 2 break evens and a loss. Crude headed the wrong direction for us. Our stop was up 51. Get very likely to get a long here. 35, 40, 36, 48, which would be a key level. That's 2 ticks above the. I would take that at 48. Even though that's a major key level, it's another 3-tick adjustment. If you didn't get in the original long, or original short rather, then you would have been in this subsequent short at 24 at the same level. So I would say, and that's going to make that pretty small now. 24. Target 2 is at 12. So target 2 and 3. Still pretty small trades. Long setup on the micro NQ. Looks like a touch. We'll treat that as a get in sync in a moment. Still haven't gotten the 8th bar after the cross under the 50 under the 200 on pound Aussie. And we are long on the micro NQ, just below the 50 EMA. There's another long setup. That's set up at 46. So yeah, 48 is our stop and reverse on crude. With under 4 minutes to get into that trade, it would be a 10 o'clock session trade. Also, micro NQ stopping out for loss number 1. Trade number 2. Crude did stop and reverse to long. And it did so before 10 o'clock. So this is the 9 o'clock session trade. And also a get in sync for 10 o'clock, but it hasn't come back yet. Triggered in just under 3 minutes to go in the session. Has not come back to the entry yet. So it's a get in sync for the 10 o'clock, for the 10 o'clock session. Micro NQ, Micro Russell, both flat. Questions or comments? Now, long trade setup on the Micro Russell that is still valid because it did not hit the entry. And therefore, what we need to, and that's got just a little bit of a wick on it, so we've got 15 ticks to target 1. So target 1 is our money management level. And there is a filtered long trade on the micro or on the pound Aussie. Crossover filter keeping us out of that trade. So we're long on crude. Second trade of the session. We're in the 10 o'clock session now. That would be, if you were not trading 9 o'clock, you're just trading 10 o'clock, that would be your get in sync trade for crude. Trading mini sessions, three trades max. This is trade number 2. Two break evens and a loss on Micro Russell. 2 avoided long trades. Solid win and a loss on Micro NQ. Yeah, Micro Russell trade still valid. You need a crossover to cancel it. Short trade on the Micro NQ. Crude setting new session highs. 67.56. All right, looks like the crossover on this bar. $69.4 for possible short entry. That assumes a down bar on the Micro Russell. There is the magenta bar, so we can get a long trade now. And we also get a short off the down move. In proximity to the 50 and the 20. 50 EMA and the 20 SMA. We're getting a push higher now. It's not going to get to the entry. It looks like we'll still get a crossover. Micro NQ approaching money management. Crude still hanging right at the entry. And there's 48 again. 47. Micro NQ taking some heat. Poked through the 200 momentarily and then bounced back up. $200 EMA. Exponential moving average. Okay, we finally did get a close on that micro bar on the micro Russell. It did cross over. We did get a crossover. It's up close and no setup. It did cancel the long setup. And micro NQ just doesn't know where it wants to go. 50 EMA just up above our stop. Stop sitting at 581 flat. 50 is 1.25 above that. And there is a stop and reverse. So Stops and reverses at 581, I believe. Yeah. Reverses to long at 581. So that is loss number 2 for the micro NQ. A little bit of a wick. That's still not big enough to bring it down to target 1. And we get a long on the micro Russell. Needs to go up 2. Level involved there. So long on the micro Russell, long on the micro NQ. Still no trade on pound Aussie. Micro NQ, micro Russell, long. Crude is long. Pound Aussie is still flat. Micro Russell, Micro NQ, both trying to go higher, but getting resistance to their respective 50 EMAs. Crude trying to get meaningfully above the 50 cent level. Got up to 58 and pulled right back to 50 cent. Micro NQ, loss number 3. That ends the session. That's going to be a slightly losing session. Not hugely so because of the strong wind. It actually might even be, I don't know. Let's see, 3 losses would be 186 ticks. What would we get? 186 points. Pick up 28 and a half, 40 and a half. That's 69. 52 and a half. 71, 121, 121 and a half, and $78 and a half. That was 3 and a half more than target 3. So that's going to be 44. $165 and a half. Yep. So we're down 20 points, not huge. Effectively, pretty much break even based on just that one trade. $40 and change on the micro. Still in the long on the Micro Russell. Pushed up another tick higher on the crude trade, coming back down to the 50 cent level again, down to 50. Got down to 50. Oh, wait a minute. We lost more than half a point addition there, plus our risk was 17 and a half there versus our normal 15 and a half. So it's 18. So another 12 points. It's 198. So we're down 32 and a half points. $65 loss on the day. Crude still trying to get away from the 50 cent level. like resistance right there, just below the 60-cent level. Support holding at 50 cents. It's going to have to go one way or the other at some point. And the micro Russell takes a full loss. So 2 losses, 2 break evens. On 4 trades. And we get up over 60. At the 62, it looks like. On crude. Need 63 for money management. Verify that here. Yeah, 63 for money management, 65 for target. One tick from money management and back to 50 cents. Oh my. And now we're back to 40, all the way to 47. One tick below our entry. So crude and micro Russell, crude, micro Russell, and pound Aussie are our active charts. Micro NQ was a down losing session today. Unleaded was a one and done winner. Soybeans one and done. And the YM was one and done. None of the 3 of those were big winners. And the micro NQ was only a small loser. Getting one really strong trade and 3 losses. Yeah, we'll make another run at 67, 63 crude. Pound Aussie with a possible short on a couple of down closes. Micro Russell with a possible short on down close as well. Crude still trying to reach that money management level, and I'm going to have to. I hate to leave it here, but I am going to have to call it a morning. I have an appointment I have to get ready for. See if we can get either the Pound Aussie or the Micro Russell trades to set up. All right, there's one down bar on the Pound Aussie. We need one more. All right, it doesn't look like it's going to cooperate with me. So I am going to have to say goodbye here. Regular session tomorrow at 9:30 a.m. Crude oil inventory session tomorrow at 10:30. Two different streams. We will see what we can get done tomorrow. Everybody have a good one, and we will see you tomorrow.